What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel and to another Lost Ark video. My name is The Full Measure, but when I play Lost Ark, I am a filthy casual, and I've been producing a series of videos specifically targeted at new players that reach level 50 and want to jump into chaos dungeons as soon as possible and start farming mats so that they can increase their gear score. Today's character that we're going to be looking at is the Sharpshooter, and functionally the Sharpshooter plays a lot like a gunslinger, but what is very important to know when I build these videos, or more specifically these builds, is that I'm coming at it from two different angles. First of all, I want the builds to be new player friendly or beginner friendly, aka you should be able to build these the minute you get to level 50 without having to go hunt down skill potions and things like that on islands. So the build itself requires about 260 points of investment to actually achieve all of the skill configuration that we have here, which is easily achievable to someone that just hit 50. And the second point is that we are going to be focusing on as much AoE damage as possible, because that really does help you blast through chaos dungeons very fast, because the idea is to kill the enemies very efficiently, very quickly, and murder the bosses so you can get through the chaos dungeons fast. So the build that you see on the screen right now basically emphasizes exactly that. And what we are looking at, as I said, functionally the Sharpshooter plays sort of similar to the gunslinger. So if you are someone that comes from a background of having played the gunslinger, or at the very least are familiar with that class, then this will feel like familiar ground for you. Now specifically, your big AoEs that you can sort of use to move around is Arrow Wave and Claymore Mine, and basically those will allow you to destroy huge groups of enemies as you essentially position it correctly to get the most out of that. Of course, things like Claymore Mine, for instance, blows in a certain direction, so this is the difference between something like a straightforward AoE, which just blasts everything around you, versus conal AoE, which requires some positioning to get the most benefit from it. Now another skill which is really useful with this class is Arrow Shower, where you essentially shoot into the air and then a while later a bunch of arrows rains down. And what you can do with that is you can often set that up as somehow like a wombo combo, or essentially a great combo with something like Blade Storm, where you shoot up into the sky over a bunch of bosses, a bunch of enemies, then you run into where the arrows are going to land and you just Blade Storm there, and you create this kill box, and everything that's within that basically dies. Now bosses, especially in the, I guess we can call it the second area or the second wave of a chaos dungeon, will, as you move through the area, naturally sort of funnel towards you, which gives you these opportunities to use great snipes, charge shots, and so on, which this build also features. And so the playstyle is very much that you are trying to position yourself around combat the entire time so you can maximize as much of those AoEs and the conal AoEs as you can, and then when you face a tougher enemy, you line up those shots, because it's a straight shot, straight snipe that you're trying to hit. And so sometimes you can capitalize on 2 or 3 bosses sort of like clustered together and standing behind each other, and you can just hit them with that. But that's basically how the class functions. I was very impressed by the Sharpshooter. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much. Those of you that have watched my previous videos, or more specifically the gunslinger one, will know that I made quite a big fuss about the gunslinger and how much I like that class. So I thought kind of like the Sharpshooter would be a bargain store ripoff, and it's not the case at all. It definitely has some value, and of course the Sharpshooter has some really functional kit and some really amazing things that you can do, where you can essentially turn yourself invisible, and this is of course really useful in PvP, which is obviously not what we're looking at today, but definitely something to keep in mind. But that's it for the build. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. Let me know in the comments down below what other skills you would rather use, or how you would tweak this build that would make it even more lethal, even better at managing chaos dungeons and being able to blast through that content. Because of course, as I've mentioned, I am a filthy casual and I'm always open to learning more. But that's it. Thanks again for watching. It's just super important to me that you have a fantastic morning, a great afternoon, and a super awesome evening wherever you are in the world. Until next video, fucking cheers.
They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me.